Hey everybody, Reds Fan 1979 coming back at you with a special baseball card video. Have a one package mail day today from eBay. It's kind of timely and appropriate, so I want to show you guys that and then talk a little bit about the Reds' disappointing series they just played with the Braves. So let's get out the card first. This is an awesome card. The reason I chose to get this, and I only bought this about a week ago, but you know, Trevor Bauer is pretty much the front runner for the Cy Young. If he gets it, he'll be the only Reds player to ever get it. And I've just been taking a liking to these gold cards, have a kind of an affinity for these gold cards recently. So this is a pretty nice condition. I'll have to look with respect to the centering. I thought it was off, but now that I'm looking at it, it may not actually be as bad as I thought. I thought it was a little thicker on the right than the left, but it may actually be, like I said, better than I thought. In terms of the corners on it, look actually pretty good. You can't really see any white there. They look pretty sharp. So I was hoping to find. Oh, let's see about that one. Oh, that's pretty good. Hoping to find one that would maybe be a grading candidate, especially if it's at least a 9. I just think he's been amazing for us this year. You know, he doesn't have the best record, but I think he had the most heart. And if he doesn't win the Cy Young, I think it'll be a crime. And I can say that pretty boldly because, you know, he just set a record in a playoff game with the 12 strikeouts, you know. It's a shame what happened in Game 1 because he pitched amazingly enough to win. I mean, he pretty much went, I think, an out away from 8 innings with 2 hits and no runs. Maybe 1 walk, I can't remember, but the guy's amazing. He is a little cocky, he does run his mouth, but he really backs it up. And so I've really appreciated seeing him and his development and growth this year. Again, not the best record, but he is pretty much up there in all of the other categories. So again, hoping he'll get the Cy Young. Thought this would be a cool card to get graded, just be a desirable card. I ended up getting this on eBay for $20 plus shipping. Came out to like $25 to $26 plus shipping and tax. One just sold last night for $20.50, and it had free shipping, so a little bit cheaper after you add the tax than I paid, but good to know that the comps are there. I think people are starting to pick up on him. I've seen other people submit cards of him to PSA and some of the group submissions. So with respect to the Reds' loss, you know, Game 1, like I said, I think he pitched good enough to win. You know, not to take anything away from the Braves, but they had more junior pitchers, and, you know, the pitcher for the Braves in Game 1 definitely got out of a lot more jams. He was very lucky. And I'll use the word lucky, fortunate, whatever you want to use. It was really just the Reds hitters that couldn't make the timely plays. There were some base running blunders. It wasn't just that the Braves pitching was that good. So, you know, we started out in the first inning with first and third, no outs, and then couldn't get a run in. If we had gotten a run in or 2, that inning, the game would have been won by Cincinnati because the rest of the game, the Braves didn't get any runs until the 13th inning. So, you know, in terms of pitching, I have to hold my head high and say, you know, the Reds don't have anything to be ashamed of. They gave up 1 run in 13 innings. In fact, if you go to the second game, they didn't give up a run till the 5th inning. So literally in 18 innings, which is 2 full games, they only gave up 2 runs. The Reds starters gave up 2 runs in 18 innings against one of the better teams in the National League. So from a pitching standpoint, I think that's pretty amazing. From a hitting standpoint, you know, Game 1, they had way more hits than the Braves. They really deserved to win that. They just couldn't get a run across, and that's what you got to do to win. So that was really unfortunate. I think that could have set a good tone. I was hoping we'd get to Sonny Gray in Game 3, and yesterday they just didn't show up. They had like 2 hits. They had a couple scenarios where they had the bases loaded or had some guys on base, but the hitting was just not timely, not clutch. And I think JY, a sports card guy, my buddy, pointed that out on his PC video of Trevor Bauer, just not clutch hitting when it mattered most. And that's sad because that's what they were able to do in the last 2 weeks, where they went something like 12-3 and, you know, got just good enough to get into the playoffs. But there's a part of me that almost wishes they didn't get in the playoffs, just with how embarrassing, how poor of a showing it was. You know, now they set the record for the most postseason innings without a run scored. I think it was something like 22 innings. That's pretty bad, and just a lot of mistakes. It's not that the chances were there. It's not that the pitching was overpowering to them. They had their chances. They just didn't execute them. So, you know, congrats to the Braves. I have to say it wasn't a dominant performance by the Braves. The Braves were just slightly better than the Reds, to be honest, if you think about it. But sometimes slightly better is enough. So we'll see what happens with them. If they only score 1 run, they're definitely not going to go far in the National League rest of the way. There's better teams out there that you can't just score 1 run against and win 1-0. So we'll see. But, you know, definitely need to go back and look at the hitting. I know a lot of fans are mad at David Bell. Definitely some decisions he could have made differently. I'm kind of 50-50 on whether he should be fired or not, but, you know, we'll see. At the end of the day, though, again, they did improve from last year. I think last year they were 10 or 12 games under 500, and I know it's a shortened season, but even to be a couple games above 500, I think was a big improvement. Their pitching was a lot better. They still gave some games away with the bullpen, which was bad, just like last year, but the hitting was just atrocious, and I think their team batting average was like 210, which is like the second worst in history, or maybe even now is the worst in history. So definitely need to make some changes next year. I'm not super worried. You know, this is a weird year, and, you know, I've heard people say, well, it's not like this stuff even counts anyways. I mean, I think it counts, but I think there's going to be a caveat or an asterisk on whoever wins. Okay, they won, but they won in a shortened year. So hoping for a better season next year, full season. I don't know who they'll keep. I hope they re-sign Bauer, but honestly, I wouldn't be shocked if he left and went somewhere else, because I think his frustration just built, and it probably just boiled over like a volcano during the playoffs, where they didn't score any runs, and yet we had amazing pitching. So anyways, I'm going to hang on to this, probably get it graded, and keep it in the PC. We had a good year and a half with him, if that's all that we have, but I'm hoping we have more. So anyways, leave a comment below. Let me know what you guys think about this card or about the series that happened between the Reds and Braves. Hope everybody has a great weekend, and please like, comment, subscribe.